Introduction. Technology is reshaping the world faster than ever, and business analysis for dummies helps you make sense of it. We will focus on what it says about project and business. Stay with me, the best part is near the end. Overall summary. Defining and documenting the project scope requires you to understand why the project has been initiated, the project statement of purpose, and the goals of the project objectives. This step is the bulk of what business analysis professionals do at the project level. They're paid to work for the business, not to work on your project. Project manager. The project manager, PM, is responsible for managing the project, including the project plan, the project scope and deliverables, and the work breakdown structure, WBS. Chapter 1, Business and Project. Business analysis is a deliberate attempt to review operations to ensure that business is moving along and it can, and that the company is taking advantage of opportunities. Sometimes, companies hire outside, independent business analysts, BAs, to come in and perform the analysis. In this chapter, we give you a broad overview of what business analysis is, introduce you to the business analysis lifecycle, and explain what the job entails. Think of the goal as the purpose of the project. In business analysis, you do not perform the activities to build the solution, nor do you manage the process to build the solution or test the solution. Knowing your role in the basic business analysis lifecycle. Business analysis work is done at many levels within a company. Because folks at all levels view things in a project, a set of steps to accomplish something, explaining business analysis activities as part of a project lifecycle, as shown in Figure 1.1, is easy. For now, get to know this cycle. It's at the crux of all things business analysis. Planning includes creating a work plan or at least thinking through an approach for the analysis effort on a project, encompassing all the activities you do and the techniques you use. As the BA, you hold folks to the project boundaries and analyze the business problem without jumping to a solution. Because solution design isn't a core business analysis activity, we don't cover it in this book. Based on the activities in steps 1 through 4, the business and project team make a decision to build the solution internally, have a group outside the company build it, or buy a prepackaged solution. During this time, your role is to ensure the solution still meets the business needs stated in the project objectives and the business requirements. As the solution is being designed and built, you need to validate that the business needs elicited during the project are being met. After a solution is built, you need to help make sure the business uses the solution. You actively work with project stakeholders as the solution rolls out, as a change agent, advocating the need for change, and/or to train new users on the system. After the solution has been implemented, you need to make sure the goals outlined in the project are being met. If they aren't, another project may be necessary to address the gap. The latter discusses how you can do the project process better, not how well the solution works for the business. Looking at the value of business analysis. A popular perception of business analysis is that it makes businesses do business better. Performing business analysis helps define what needs to be accomplished. If you discover that the project work is no longer adding value to reaching the goals and objectives of the company, one of the best things you as the BA can do is cancel the project. Gain buy-in on the project scope from all impacted people as early as possible. Reducing project defects. Business analysis activities detail the rules, process, and user interactions of the solution. Chapter 2, Business and Analysis. Improving communication within the team. Business analysis activities boil down to communication. One of the BAS main roles is to elicit and communicate the true needs of the business so the right solution can be delivered. The following sections spell out a few skills you need to succeed at business analysis. Communication is integral to everything in business analysis. so you need to be great at it. Being able to step away from the project at hand and see the big picture is crucial for any business analysis practitioner. You must be able to work on a project while understanding how that project fits in with other projects in the organization and continues to meet the business's overall objectives. As a business analysis professional, you need to avoid falling victim to this law. In addition to the business analysis techniques covered in the book, you need to have a good grasp on the types of solutions specific to your business or field. Don't worry, nothing about business analysis requires you to take yoga classes. The flexibility we're talking about here is the way you respond to changes on a project. Refusing to change along with the project doesn't bode well for you as the BA or for the project team as a whole and may cause project defects. You have to be able to adapt to changes on a project and adjust accordingly. Flexibility isn't about being adaptable to changes to project requirements. Thus, the International Institute of Business Analysis, IIBA, was born. This is a question BAs are still discussing on business analysis chat forums, and there are a lot of reasons why. IIBA currently offers 2 levels of certification: Certification of Competency in Business Analysis, CCBA, and Certified Business Analysis Professional, CBAP. When taking on most projects as a business analyst, BA, you perform analysis on one level only, although analysis at any level always needs to support the company's overall goals, mission, and objectives. The topmost level enterprise contains one entity, but the bottom level project has many entities. The organizational level is the collection of distinct business areas or general regions that make up a company. The project level is the level at which you execute projects to deliver support or enable the company's organizational areas and/or operational functions to achieve their objectives. This level of analysis is often the starting point for a brand new project and provides context for your requirements analysis and solution development. More on this topic in Chapter 5. This level of leadership is referred to as the C-level. Doing business analysis activities at the enterprise level analysis focuses on optimizing interactions across multiple organizations within a company to benefit the whole. Chapter 3, Project and Level. The organizational level is the level below enterprise. It refers to the company's general areas or large regions. The people you interact with at this level of analysis are one layer below executive leaders, most likely directors or VPs of the different business areas. When you're doing analysis at the organizational level, understanding the enterprise level goals helps you prioritize and plan efforts at the organizational level. In this case, the organization may not want to fund the project or support its development after all, given the priorities on the enterprise level. Even if the enterprise approves the project to begin with, the project may be stalled during the development. On the organizational analysis level, you work with each separate organization to develop a strategic plan specific to each area. Also, if an organizational level project makes changes to processes or systems that impact another organizational or operational level, it can cause conflicts and expand the scope of analysis necessary for the project. Knowing your tasks at the operational level at this level, you should focus your business analysis efforts on developing a program, a group of projects that allow the operational area to achieve the goal of the organizational or enterprise level initiative. The project level is the lowest level of analysis and is where most of the business analysis work at companies happens, because each enterprise has a handful of organizations, many operational areas for each organization, and many projects per operation area. Figure 2.1 earlier in the chapter shows you a graphical breakdown of this alignment. Therefore, the business analysis profession is highly focused on the project area. The people you deal with on a regular basis at this level include your solution team members, your project managers, development staff, if you're on a software development project, and quality assurance analysts. On the business side, you work with subject matter experts and users of the solution. Understanding the people you work with on the project is important, so in chapters 3 and 11, we provide more information for conducting stakeholder analysis. A project delivers a solution that's meant to enable the operation area to achieve its goals. Much like at the operational level, getting time from the key project level people you need is difficult. You need to be aware of how your project fits into the bigger picture of the business. As a business analyst, you're in the perfect spot to see when a project is no longer aligned with the higher goals of the enterprise. Build spots into your project where you do a sanity check, that is, you make sure the project is still aligned with operational, organizational, and enterprise goals. Consider a project to create a new application to support order fulfillment. In this chapter, we discuss working with different stakeholders as you perform business analysis. These people manage the project in business areas and are the highest-ranking member of the project. The executive sponsor is the raison d'être of the project or initiative. The person who initiates the project has a vision of what the end product should be and comes up with the project to accomplish it. Approves project scope and signs off on requirements. Chapter 4: Project and Business. The project manager, PM, is responsible for managing the project, including the project plan, the project scope and deliverables, and the work breakdown structure, WBS. During project execution, the PM ensures the project scope continues to align with the project objectives, and he raises any concerns with the adjusted project plan, including any missed dates or expired deadlines. The BA function focuses on analyzing items of the project. The PM function focuses on meeting the project dates. Experts in the particular business or solution area you are working in for your project. Domain SMEs are the people who provide project objectives, potential problems, and risks from the business perspective. They're business people, and their job is understanding the business. Domain SMEs also set the priority of the project objectives and the requirements based on what they need to accomplish from the business perspective. Understand that addressing the most critical business requirements, business needs, is the value attached to the prioritization on the requirements, so it's important to understand the difference between the business requirement and a solution. The implementation SME is the one who provides technical expertise on how to develop a solution to solve the business problem. Generally, the majority of the resources come into the project at the phase when you're creating some sort of project solution. But a few members of that department may be stakeholders within your project. Regulators are the people and organizations creating guidelines and possibly constraints on your project and solution. The technical personnel are those resources, the corporate way of saying people, on a project who help address how technology supports and fulfills the business requirements. If the solution for your project is a technical one, they build the solution. The earlier they are involved in the project, the better. Are interested in how the software needs to support the business need. Need to understand the business and solution requirements so they can code a solution that matches what the business needs. Interact with the BA to fully understand the needs of the business. You don't want the technical personnel to develop a solution that does not address the business need. A programmer who states, "I know what the business needs better than the business does," isn't the kind of programmer you want on the project. On a project, their first initiative is to review the project requirements and write test plans. The project you work on will most likely use data. Look for people, groups, departments, customers, and project team members. Closing. That is the heart of business analysis for dummies. If it helped, a quick subscribe keeps more summaries coming. So how do project and business connect? That is exactly where we started. Go back to the top and watch it click into place.